everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast, and we're really excited to have another hallstar interview with us today. And today we're talking with Rhiannon Fish, and thank you so much, Rhiannon, for coming on and talking with us.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I love this podcast.
Yeah, we have so much fun having you on. Last time we had you on was last year, before the adventure movie, the Journey of
Oh
My
yeah, Journey
Heart.
of My Heart. With
Yeah,
Lucy, did we just do it or was Lucy guest with us
Lucy
too?
was on. Yes, so we
Love her.
had and that was really fun.
Yes.
So now we're having you on for 2022. And how has your year been?
Oh my gosh, it's been so wonderful. I'm in love with Vancouver. Vancouver has been so good to me. The whole Hallmark family has been so good to
Yeah.
me. I think I've shot 5 movies this year. And I'm so grateful to be so welcomed by this community.
I mean, that's impressive. 5 movies in 1 year. Very well done. Yes. And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Australia, born in
that's right.
Calgary, grew up in Australia, and then I've just
Okay.
come here like 3 years ago.
Nice. Nice. Well, we had you on last talking about Journey of My Heart. And so how did you feel like that movie turned out? Were you happy about it? Happy with
I
it?
was so happy about it. Okay. So we watched it, like a group of us got together. It was myself, Lucy Guest, Andy, our DOP, and a few others. Oh, Grace, who plays, not gonna remember the character name.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, we all got together and we played like a drinking game that had rules with it. That was very, very fun. But with that said, I didn't really remember watching it. It was a good drinking game. So I then went back and watched it in my own sober time. And I was just so proud of the movie that Lucy put together. It looked visually stunning. Yeah, I was very, very proud of that film.
Yeah, I liked it too. And I feel like now with A Splash of Love and with this, you're like Hallmark's go-to girl for like adventure stories.
That's so nice. And you know what's funny is that so I did Splash of Love, obviously. And that was like essentially, let's be honest, it was the same movie, just with a different guy and also a different animal. But I love that storyline. So I was thrilled to basically get to kind of do it again, except on the water. And I think that that's the thing with that production company is they're like, oh yeah, we got an adventure one. Who are you going to call?
Yeah.
Rhiannon Fish. I don't like
well done.
adventures or being outside, but as long as it is conveyed on screen, that's all that really matters.
So yeah, if you were going to pick your next adventure movie that you were going to do, where would you pick?
Oh my gosh. Well, Hallmark's doing all these like location shoots.
I know,
now.
that's what I'm saying.
Hunter King, who I just worked with, she just did one in Hawaii. And I know they're doing other location ones. So I mean, I love Vancouver, and I mean that very sincerely. I'd be very happy to go explore Squamish again. I think it's so beautiful. Honestly, one of the most beautiful places in the world. But if the opportunity came up to go to a place like Hawaii, I think that would be fun because then maybe we wouldn't have to like cheat wetsuits under our clothes because it wouldn't be freezing, obviously.
Yeah, I think that should be the next one. They've done a bunch of Hawaii movies. They did Groundswell with Lacey Chabert. So
hello.
Yeah.
Give me a call.
I think that could be good. I mean, I wonder how they could work in an adventure story into a Christmas movie.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can we handle that?
Yeah.
It seems like Christmas is like its own genre, but to cross paths with that, I think that would be very exciting. I'm 100% down.
In 2020, the big thing that Christmas was sort of treasure hunting movies. So people had, people had either like a letter or a charm or a ring or something like that, a photo. And then they were like on an odyssey to try to find out what was going on with that particular item. So that was like the big thing that year.
Hawaii. Sure.
And
like
so
treasure or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, heaven forbid Hallmark ever do a warm weather Christmas movie. I mean, that is out of the question. But we could still.
I feel like they'd be afraid the audience wouldn't get it. The audience would be like, oh, I'm confused. If it's not snowing, it can't be a Christmas movie.
Like what? People celebrate Christmas in warm weather climates? From award-winning author Olivia Matthews comes a new cozy mystery in the small town of Peach Coast, Georgia. Murder Out of Character follows book-loving librarian and amateur sleuth Marve after she finds a handwritten list of locals' names at an event. With time running out and a serial killer on the loose, can she piece the clues together in time? Full of Southernisms, a quirky supporting cast, and a sweet side helping of romance, this mystery is the perfect whodunit for your fall reading list. Publishers Weekly calls Murder Out of Character the prose equivalent of a Hallmark family movie. Available now on Amazon and at Barnes & Noble and select bookstores. For more about Murder Out of Character and Olivia's entire Peach Coast Library mystery series, visit www.patriciasurgent.com. That's patriciasurgent.com. You know what's interesting is we've been watching some classic Hallmark movies, Christmas movies, in a series I've been doing, and pre 2013, Hallmark didn't have very much fake snow in their movies. I don't know if it's just a budget thing, but you watch these old movies and there's no fake snow. They're not even trying to pretend that it's
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I wonder what it was. Maybe it was budget, or maybe they just realized people like that. Like, and now there's like a pair between Hallmark movies, Christmas, and snow.
Yeah. On Lifetime, they did one last year that was set in Southern California and they still had snow.
Obviously, because it couldn't be a Christmas movie without the snow. Yeah. Maybe we could do one in Australia. I think that could be a pitch.
Yeah.
Because we are making movies for television in Australia now. Yeah. So maybe Hallmark, we can go over, shoot one there, and having an outback Christmas. I feel like that could trick people into being okay with the fact there's no snow.
I think we need to get with one of our writer friends. We need to make this happen.
Yep. I'm down. Yeah.
All right. I'll
orchestrate that.
We'll talk. Yeah. It'll be good.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, you were in the Signed, Sealed, Delivered movie, the most recent one, The Vows We Have Made. And so that's got to be fun to be a postable, to get in that world.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And I mean, you never know with that series because it seems to just continue forever. But at the time, the cast was sort of saying that I think this is probably the last one. You never know.
Yeah.
So it was just an absolute privilege to be a part of such an important series that means so much to so many people before it sort of maybe comes to an end. I felt it was I thoroughly enjoyed being a part of that film. And I loved the character, Charlie.
Yeah, it felt like a conclusion, but then I felt like the previous one also felt like a series.
I know, right?
So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that they've been able to keep the cast available for all this time. That none of them have, signed on to another, series, or it's kind of amazing that they've all that they were even available to do a new one.
In working with all of them, I think perhaps it was they treated it as a priority. I know all those actors really love working together. They love Martha, the creator. Mm-hmm. So I would assume that they were very loyal to that film.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a sweet, sweet send off to the series. And when you've got Oliver in his green tie and the wedding and everything, it's fun.
Yes, I agree completely.
And your character, was it kind of fun to play pregnant?
So fun. Yeah, I loved it. And you also too with the smaller role, I knew it was just a supporting role. Mm-hmm. But then when I watched the whole film, I was like, oh, this was an important piece in the storyline for those other two characters that now
Rita
they can
and Norman.
It was just so it felt really cool to be a significant piece to their finale, so to speak.
Yeah, and they're such lovely characters.
Aren't they lovely?
Yeah, we love them.
Such lovely people. I thoroughly enjoyed working with them.
That's great. Well, that's good. So I noticed on IMDb that you have a movie with Jesse Hutch. Do you know that For the Love of Chocolate? Yeah. Do you know if that is going to be in the States? It's aired on Canada, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually only recently watched it because I couldn't really get my hands on it. It's a really great movie, and I really like him.
Oh
He is
yeah.
one of my favorite
Yeah.
co-stars I've ever had. You've interviewed him before, I
Yeah,
assume?
he was actually one of our first celebrity interviews, probably our like third or fourth.
Yeah.
So he was
Isn't
very
he
early
so
on.
lovely?
Yeah, when we just started, and when we were doing the interview, it had so many buffering problems and interruptions, and so I always be grateful to him because he was so nice and so
He
patient.
is so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the last one I just did, like the male lead I was working with was asking me like, who would you recommend as like a great male? And I was like,
Uh-huh.
Jesse Hutch for sure.
Yeah.
Him and Clayton James always come to mind because they're just really,
Hmm.
really nice people. They're
Yeah.
both gorgeous,
Right.
and they're both very good actors as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You've had a good run of male co-leads.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know.
I
I
mean,
feel so
really.
lucky. Yes.
Benjamin Hollingsworth.
Yes, yes. And I just worked with Marcus Rosner, who I know has done a
Oh,
few Hallmarks. Yeah, he played the male lead. Just, yeah, really, again, just gorgeous, lovely, lovely men. And you have to like them because, you spend so much time
yeah.
together. I know the shoot is only, yeah, anywhere from 12 to 14, 15 days, but still, it's all day, every day. And you got to
Yeah.
really act like you love this person. So it helps a lot when I get so blessed with lovely men like these
Yeah.
guys.
Do you ever do kind of a chemistry read with your leads, or do you just kind of go
We
for it?
did. We actually, Hunter and I did one. That
Oh,
was like
interesting.
the first one. The other ones we just sort of, and I think that's because, that for a few reasons, and we'll probably get into that film. But the director just really wanted to make sure that a chemistry existed between, because you can kind of fake it with lovers, but with family,
Yeah.
with sisters, like they just really wanted it to there just needed to be a chemistry that
Yeah.
existed there.
Well, and also probably because I would think that they'd want to do more, like a
Yes,
series.
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
So there's
that's
more
the plan.
stakes to the
Exactly. Stakes
chemistry.
were higher. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's interesting that you'd almost need more chemistry for a sister
Yeah.
relationship than for a uh
I
romantic
think
relationship.
so. I
Yeah.
like that's how I kind of feel because I think it almost with sisters and with these two characters, it needed to be something that was unspoken, just like something like a soul thing
Hmm.
between the two of us.
Yeah.
And I remember, so we went to the Sutton to do our chemistry read, and Hunter and I were in there first, and we were just sitting in there talking, getting to know each other. And the director came in later, and he was like, I'm so happy to hear how much laughter was coming from the room because it
Hmm.
just and Hunter and I hit it off immediately, and I think that they really wanted that connection between these two girls.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you don't get to choose who your sisters are. They're
Oh,
just, and so like you have to work almost harder, I think, at the relationship. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But I enjoyed A Splash of Love. It looked like it would have been a fun movie to make. Ben Hollingsworth, Laura Solstice. We love her. She's
Love
great.
her. She's such a
Yeah.
lovely person.
Yeah. And you had to eat all that surf and turf.
Gross. I'm vegan. I did not eat that. I actually don't think anyone ate that day. That was so gross. Because it
Did
was
you just
real.
spit it out?
I didn't. I ate the bread, so I don't
Oh,
know if
okay.
it's
Yeah.
told that I was eating it. But yeah, and because we shot that over like a whole day, that stunk by the end of the
Oh, I
day. It was
bet.
gross. And Ben is vegan as well.
Oh
I'm pretty
no.
sure. So yeah, it was just a couple of vegans sitting there, and it was the one time where in my mind where I was like, I don't necessarily know if this character would eat surf and turf, but I trust the process.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably true. I mean that whole restaurant is known for it.
Yeah, I know exactly. And yeah, she was really trying to get those dead fish to serve.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
really was.
Sure.
But I thought they did a pretty good job of working in kind of stock cinematography of the whales
Oh, I thought so
with
too.
with
Again,
you guys, making it pretty
yeah.
seamless.
Yeah, I think I totally agree. I felt very excited watching the film because, of course, on the day there was none of that.
Yeah.
So it felt really cool to see how Heather Hawthorne Doyle made it come to life.
Yeah, I thought so too. So for The Love of Chocolate, I mean, this sounds interesting to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did
they just get you a bunch of vegan chocolate?
They did.
Yeah.
I'm so spoiled. Yeah. It's like the first thing I email through, like if I book a job, I'm like, they usually have us eating something.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of chocolate in that film. Visually, it's gorgeous. And yeah, it was really, really fun. It's like basically Jesse and I were in a baking competition. And yeah, it was I think it's a great little film.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm really excited to see it. We need to get it.
Yes.
Hallmark or Up TV, if you're listening, let's get it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I did just love the classic Hallmark meet cute in A Splash of Love with the smart car breaking down.
Oh, I mean, thank you.
I'm convinced that's why I have not found the love of my life, is that my car's too reliable. I think.
And that's fair. See, well, it was actually my car. That's I call her
that
the
really
beast.
is your car.
Yeah. I love a smart car. And yeah, sure, maybe it's your car that's sending you down there. Yeah.
Hello. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Katie. And we have a podcast called
One Kiss Means Forever. Do you love made-for-TV rom-coms?
Are you obsessed with Hallmark and all the Hallmark-inspired copycats that have come out on other platforms like Netflix?
And while being obsessed, do you know that these are not what one might call quality films?
If so, come listen to our podcast. Each episode, we discuss one movie that did not have a theatrical release and always ends in a happily ever after.
And how do we know it will end in a happily ever after?
Because one kiss means forever, of course.
So join us as we deep dive into each movie for about 45 minutes.
Episodes drop every other Thursday, except during the very elongated Hallmark Christmas season when we join the Christmas craze and go weekly for about 2.5 months. Bye!
Bye.
Funny, that's your actual car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a tight squeeze?
I'm
I guess
a pretty
perfect
little person. I'm quite short, and it's usually just me cruising around by myself. So, and in Vancouver, with like the price of gases and traffic, I love that little thing. You can zoom in anywhere, park in motorcycle parking spaces. It's great.
Yeah. So we also loved your boyfriend Richard Harmon. We loved his movie for Hallmark.
Oh, the tennis
James That Love,
directed by his sister.
Yes.
Yes.
And so now we think we need to have a Rhiannon Fish Richard Harmon movie.
Thank you. Do you know, I pitched this to Alan Harmon, who is the director of many Hallmark movies. And I was like, listen, Alan, let's do it. You, me, Richard, and let's go to Hawaii.
Oh,
so, like
all
that's
coming
the
together.
plan. I think, yeah, that would really, I don't know if Richard's going to do any more Hallmark movies, but maybe if his dad was directing or his sister again. I still haven't got the opportunity to work with Jess, which I've just heard such incredible things. Yes. I think she's so talented. I'd love to work with her while she's still kind of playing in the Hallmark genre.
Well, tell him that Hallmarkies podcast, love the movie, and we want this to happen. He needs to do it just for us.
I'll call right after. Yeah.
Good.
Make it happen.
That's good. All right. Well, you have Nick and Nora, Sister Sleuths, coming out this weekend. And this sounds really cute. I'm excited for it. So you and Hunter King play your twins, fraternal twins. And how, I guess, how do you get started sister sleuthing without, I guess, giving too much away, but you tell us a little bit.
So basically, they're estranged sisters. They haven't seen each other for 10 years. And Nikki, played by Hunter King, she basically finds out that they have inherited a private investigator business, which, I mean, I say that out loud and I'm like, how is that going to work? But the mystery that unfolds is like wild to me. I know I'm supposed to say this, but I also genuinely feel that when I was reading the script, there's of course there's a murder, as I mean, all of these Hallmark mysteries sort of tend to have. And I did not know until the moment it was revealed who the murderer was.
So you're reading through the script, like, what is happening?
Like, who done it? Yeah. So I'm so excited to see how if the audience can pick up on it. That's why I like these mysteries, because you can sleuth yourself, and you can be like, you can try and figure it out before the characters do. So that part I loved. And then it ends on a cliffhanger that, to me, like, Hunter and I read it and we just looked at each other and we were like, oh my God, there has to be more. We have to do more of this, because I need to know what happens next.
Oh my gosh, ends on a cliffhanger. Okay, that's good to know going in, so that you'll be prepared and won't be like, ah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really good. So Madison Smith, he's in the movie. Yeah. Is he like the police guy or that you work with?
Yeah, detective? He's the police guy, and perhaps he has a bit of a love affair with one of us. I won't say who. Yeah. Lovely boy. Very, very sweetheart.
Yeah, we love him. He's great. So do you consider this basically like a pilot for the series?
Sure. Yeah. I know they want to do more, and I know that while we were doing it, there were a lot of Hallmark eyes on us, which usually there isn't as much when we're shooting just like a one-off. There were a lot of producers that were very involved and giving a lot of feedback throughout. So it really just comes down to the audience. Like, if people tune in and they like it, we'll hopefully be able to make some more of these.
So did you film this in Vancouver?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, it's in Vancouver. So cool. Well, I'm excited for it. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, something a little bit different. We haven't seen like two, like this sister dynamic, two women kind of lead us a mystery. So I think it's going to be good.
I think so too. For me, the relationship, I have a sister 2 years younger, and to me, she is like the most important person in the world. Always has been, always will be. And I know a lot of people have relationships like that with their siblings, or they have estranged relationships like these two characters. So I think it's going to speak to a lot of people, maybe even more so than the love stories tend to.
Yeah. I mean, who can't, even if you don't have siblings, you usually have somebody like that, whether it's a cousin or, or somebody kind of like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Well, I saw they just announced the Up TV lineup for Christmas. And I saw that you have a movie coming out with them, with Clayton James, as you said, called The Christmas Retreat. Yes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh my gosh, that was so. Between you and me and whoever's watching, I have like a ranking system on my phone with all the movies I've done from to work. I don't know why I do that. Just a fun game I play by myself. That is ranked number 1. There's nothing that can take that down. Nikki and Nora got close. They might even be tied, but Christmas at the Retreat, or The Christmas Retreat. Oh my gosh, I just had the most phenomenal time. Clayton James truly became one of my best friends. We talk a fair bit still. Just a magical human being. I just had such a special time with him. And I think that that's really, again, just talking about chemistry with people that, you either kind of have it or you don't, or you have to work for it. I just felt that Clayton and I just had this very real chemistry together that I'm excited for people to see.
Well, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is your first Christmas movie.
It's my first Christmas movie.
See?
Yes. I mean, and I love Christmas, so I have been dying to do one. And Clayton and I got so lucky. We shot this one in Kelowna at the start of this year. So it was really, really cold. We had a lot of it was all real snow.
See, that's authentic.
And it was freezing too, which, I mean, my heart goes out to the people that are doing those Christmas movies where they got the scarves and the toques and the jackets, and it's the middle of summer here in Vancouver. So we at least didn't have to fake any of the weather.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So you don't have ice packs underneath your jackets.
Exactly. No, we had like the hot warmers because it was freezing. Yeah. Which I'll take any day. Yeah.
So was it like a forced proximity movie? Like you're stuck in the same cabin or something like that?
100%. Yes. And neither of us want to be there. It was really fun because I love Christmas so much. To play like a Scrooge was just really, really fun.
Yes. So you have to go you have to go to this Christmas retreat for some reason.
Yeah, basically. So he's forced to go because his family runs it, and he's too busy, hasn't seen any of them in a long time. And I'm forced to go because my mom is going, and she's like, listen, you need a break. Your boyfriend just broke up with you. You should, And then the usual tales ensue.
Yeah, there she meets newly unemployed Mark.
Yes,
that's quite a
gorgeous,
descriptor.
gorgeous Mark. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the lack of employment wouldn't matter too much if you look like Clayton James.
Nate, you're telling me, isn't he? He's a knockout.
Yeah,
So gorgeous. Yeah, and really honestly, and most people you talk to, or actually honestly all, will tell you just what a lovely person he is.
Yeah.
Quick story. So we like I said, we were shooting in Kelowna, and on the last night we all went for some drinks together in like cast and crew. And then the morning I woke up and I missed my flight, and he was already driving back to Vancouver. And so I messaged him. I was like, oh, missed my flight. I got to wait for the next one. He turned around and came to the airport and came and got me. Like,
No
just
way.
the nicest guy I've ever met.
That's so cool. So you also have a royal movie coming out sometime?
Oh, yeah, my horror movie. That's one of the ones in Australia. That's hopefully going to be a part of a series as well, and hopefully we get it over here. Yeah, that's like the whole prince fantasy where, you know, she doesn't know that he's a prince, and it's actually a really, really great film. I'm excited for that, to see a trailer even for that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mitchell Bork.
Mhm.
And it looks fun to me.
It was so fun. We got to go swimming with sharks. He was terrified, so I like played the Jaws soundtrack over the loudspeaker. It was a blast. And if nothing else, it was just really fun to go back to Australia and get to work over there, because I obviously call Australia home pretty much.
Yeah. So you grew up there, but you don't have any accent.
No, I know. I would say probably because of my parents. I was 4 when I moved there. My sister was 2, and both of us have Canadian accents. And I worked with a vocal coach who said that sometimes kids just never lose it, whether if they want to be like the center of attention or they want to sound like their family or whatever it may be. It's bizarre.
We'd like to take a second from this episode of the podcast to celebrate our sponsor of this episode, and that is the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast?
Do you want an inside scoop into what happens on the podcast?
Do you want early access to episodes and loads of cool perks?
Now is the time to become a patron of Hallmarkies podcast.
By becoming a patron, you get to access our patron Facebook group.
You can request episodes or even be a guest on the podcast.
And most importantly, any patron can join our monthly movie watch-alongs with stars like Paul Campbell, Natalie Hall, and more.
It's as low as $2 a month to join in and become a special part of the Hallmarkies family.
Please consider, and we will love you forever.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Put on a pretty good Australian accent, though, if you want.
It's not bad. It's not good. But yeah, because when I worked in Australia, they wouldn't hire me with this accent. I had some casting directors that made it very clear. They were like, either you learn a Aussie accent or we're not going to hire you. So I trained for a really long time to try and pick it up.
Yeah, that's funny. I've always wanted to go to Australia. I know, I really should. I was going to go when I was in high school because one of my teachers would like kind of sponsor these trips, you know, and anyway, but not enough people signed up. So we ended up going to Italy and Greece, which was still awesome.
Sure, we'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah. It's not too shabby.
But I've always wanted to go to Australia. I mean, I love to swim and I love the ocean. So the Great Barrier Reef would be a dream come true.
I know. And it's the kind of thing where we have to go before it's no longer. Because they say that in a certain amount of years, we will have, as a people, ruined the Great Barrier Reef. So yeah, I still haven't been either.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to get your underwater scuba certification in order to really see it. So
yeah,
but that would be that is a bucket list item for me.
Right, for sure. I mean, I can't imagine it's the kind of thing you'd ever do and go, damn, wish I didn't do that.
Right. Yeah. So people keep listening to the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe next time I talk to you for my next film, we can be just that.
Take me with you. No. So that sounds fun. So what's this Marcus Rosner movie?
Oh yeah, we just did that in Edmonton. It's called A Vintage Bride, and again, it was just another really great film. I had a great time shooting with him. He's a very talented actor, and again, lovely guy. Yeah, we just finished that up. Again, sort of similar vibe where it's like these two characters get thrust together and they don't initially get along, and then we see them fall in love, and that is the classic Hallmark tale.
He's now officially leading man status, which he totally deserves. But I kind of miss him being the wrong guy because he was really funny. He was for so long. He was the wrong guy.
Yes. He showed me the trailer. I haven't watched it yet, but the one that he did with like Sarah Hyland and like he did like where again he's the bad guy, and because he is so nice, and that is the only capacity that I knew him in. When he showed me that trailer, I was like, whoa, Marcus, like you're very good at doing both these sides of the coin.
But do you ever miss that about now that you're a leading lady? Do you ever miss like the kind of the dishier supporting role parts?
No.
I like to be believed. I don't know if that's
terrible. Financially, of course, but I just think sometimes.
But also just like the amount that I remember, and it's something that I always try and remind myself. Like if I'm exhausted and I'm like, oh gosh, we have another day where I'm in every scene. I have to remind myself of those days where I was just like coming in for smaller roles, and I was looking at the leads, and I was just so jealous. And anytime I would ever hear them complain, I'd be like, I would give anything to be in your shoes.
That's true.
So that's something that I really try and remind myself of all the time.
Well, they say there are no small parts, only small actors.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
I think sometimes the wrong guys can be kind of wrong, or girls can be kind of fun. It's over the top.
But see,
over the top.
Yeah, sure. I don't think I've ever played like the wrong girl, so to speak.
Yeah.
Just like the right girl. Just
you never got to do anything too campy, too silly.
No, not really.
That's too bad.
So. No, yeah.
That's too bad. When you in your Aurora movie, what was your part in that?
That was again a smaller role. I really liked being a part of that film as well. She was like, her dad was the one that got murdered, and then she was trying to help them just say like who did it, basically. Okay.
Because I think it would be fun to play the murderer too.
Oh, wouldn't it? Right? That I would love. Yeah, I'm 100% down for that. Yeah.
Wow, very good. Well, we're excited for Nikki and Nora. I think that's going to be a ton of fun. And we haven't had very many mysteries this year, so it's kind of exciting to get 2 in this month.
I know. I'm so excited too. I had to watch both of them.
Yeah. And I think on the recap, we're gonna the mysteries. Sometimes my dad comes in for the recap on mysteries, so you have to listen to the podcast.
What's your dad's name?
My dad's name is JB. Yeah.
Oh, tell JB I said hi. That's so cute. Oh, yes. I love that you get to like work with your dad. That's like my dream.
And he doesn't watch movies, so getting him to watch movies is a lot, but he likes mysteries, so it's cute. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to hearing what you think.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've already done the regular fun questions that we have with Lucy, and so we have the Christmas fun questions. So get on your Christmas cap and ready. What is your favorite holiday drink?
A beer.
Okay.
I don't like that eggnog crap. Sorry.
All right, good. What is your favorite holiday cookie or treat?
My grandma's fudge.
Sounds good. All right. What is your favorite Christmas song or carol?
Oh, Drummer Boy, Little Drummer Boy.
Oh, okay. All right. What is your favorite classic Christmas movie?
The Grinch.
Oh, with Jim Carrey?
No, the cartoon, like one.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole.
Exactly.
Very good. All right. That leads into our next question. Which do you like better, Scrooge or the Grinch?
The Grinch.
Okay, good. Clear lights or colored?
Clear.
Okay. Would you rather be in a snowball fight or build a snowman?
Build a snowman.
Okay. Do you consider yourself a good gift wrapper or not?
Oh, yes. It's if I wasn't an actor, I wanted to be one of those people that works at the store and like wraps people's gifts for them. It is one of my greatest joys.
We should work that into a Christmas movie for you.
I'm down.
Yeah. You just be an amazing gift wrapper.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What is do you have an ugly Christmas sweater?
I do. I have like a full elf outfit that, has like elf shoes and elf ears, which translates into something ugly for Christmas.
Yeah. But you're like, I like my sweaters.
I like it. Yeah,
They're not ugly. That's funny. Well, very good. You answered all the questions.
That was great. Thank you. That was so fun.
It was really fun. I really enjoyed talking with you. And so thanks so much for coming on.
Well, thank you so much. Merry Christmas in advance.
Yes. Merry Christmas to you. And I'm telling you, tell Richard, we want to get that movie.
I will. I'm going to make the call right now.
Okay, good. Very good. Well, thanks again.
Much. Take care.
Okay, bye. I'd like to thank Rhiannon for coming on the podcast. This was so much fun to get to talk with her. She was great. So let us know if you have any questions or thoughts about all the things we talked about. We'd love to hear in the comment section or on Twitter. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. I really appreciate that. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have the Patreon group and merch store, so check out that. And thanks so much again to Rhiannon, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.